A very good morning to you, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Joe's Bus Train Plane Lift Adventures. Hope you're all keeping okay, and of course with the lovely weather we got at the moment, with the temperatures going quite high, so please keep yourselves hydrated wherever you're going today, because I know it is mega hot. And so anyway, we're on the M5 motorway in the northbound direction. So, where would we go if we're in the northbound direction? Well, until we get closer to the destination, I will let you know. Now, this is not going to be a full journey, because obviously with memory, etc. But obviously, if you want to see my other videos, which is covered on this corridor, just hover over to watch them. And so here we go, we're just on our way. So over there is West Bromwich. That's West Bromwich over there. That's so West Bromwich is over that way. Bit of building work going on this structure here. Still works taking place on the building. Advertising for the big arch at McDonald's, because that's now out, available in all the McDonald's UK restaurants. So we're coming to the final intermediate junction of the M5, and this one is for the A41 towards West Bromwich and Birmingham for the northwest, and also for the West Bromwich Albion Football Club, football ground, which is down in that distance with the floodlights sticking out. So what we'll do, we'll stop filming until we come to the next intersection, the M6, because our next port of call will be the M6. See you on the M6. Anyway, we're now entering the M6 northbound, and this is the one proceeding for Walsall and Wolverhampton, but obviously we're not going that close. We're actually going a bit further upwards, beyond Walsall and Wolverhampton. And speaking of Wolverhampton, I was over there yesterday doing the 891 service, the Banger bus service over to Telford in Shropshire. And oh my goodness me, this is the fun part. Traffic slow. It's always a nightmare getting on the M6, but obviously this is the busiest part of the M6, because as you know, further upwards you've got the Swedish home furnishing store IKEA, because IKEA is up this route, or obviously most people call it IKEA. Yeah, because IKEA is up this way, so you got IKEA. And also the busy Gallagher shopping park. Obviously back in the day there was only a limited amount of shops, but now they've expanded to include more variety of shops, of an outdoor retail park, because a lot of shops have moved to the out of town areas rather than being on the high streets. But there are still some shops on the high street, yes they are, so don't be wrong with that. So, unfortunately, we're having to slow to a halt here at the moment, because there's a bit of a congestion up here. This is because this is the junction point for IKEA. Because IKEA is up this way. So I'm just having to, so obviously we have to go very slow. So these are pylons. So as you know, you have a lot of pylons across the motorway network, because it's all part of the national grid system. Over there is Cambridge Parkway Station, served by West Midlands Railway, and the rolling stock on that line is fleet of Class 730 Adventurers, which are also seen on the Birmingham Cross City line. So here we go. We're now on our way. Just bear with us. We are currently operating at a reduced speed, and we'll be just about to resume normal speed, because this is just the bit where we have to change on to different motorways. It is a nightmare until you clear your junction. So anyway, there's the freight, there's the goods yard over there. That's where all the goods trains are located. Here at Tamebridge, Bescott Stadium. So anyway, here's the RAC Wednesbury building. Obviously this one doesn't have the tall tower compared to the one down at Bristol, which is on the M5. But obviously that's the RAC Wednesbury base there. So services is in 7 miles, so junction 9, the A461 to Wednesbury, and also towards Walsall, and also for the IKEA and the Gallagher shopping park. So we've just gone past Bescott Stadium station. So there's a Lidl distribution centre, the biggest Lidl, as you might think. It might be as size as Wembley football pitch. So here's junction 9, Wednesbury, and the A461, and also for the Gallagher shopping park. So we're now thrashing along. So here we come. There's Wednesbury over there. See Wednesbury Church on top of that hill, which overlooks the centre of Wednesbury. There's the Gallagher shopping park with all your choices of stores. There's the IKEA. Now you'll probably be thinking, where are we going today? Well, obviously we do go here quite a lot. It's one of my favourite places in the whole of England. So it does involve, we have to go on a motorway. No, we're not going to Telford, we're not going to Cannock for the MacArthur Glen, we're not going to Alton Towers. We're actually going somewhere which I like most of all, and it's in the northwest of England. It's nowhere near the Midlands. It's nowhere near the Midlands. It's actually in a different county. It's within the northwest. So coming up now is junction 10, and this one is for Walsall, Wolverhampton Central and East, and also for Bilston and Willenhall, and also for the nearby Boundary Outlet, which we always refer to as Boundary Mill. And this is for the A454. Here, the National Express West Midlands 529 Walsall to Wolverhampton service crosses over us. You can see a row of HGV lorries all going along on the southbound direction. So what we'll do, we'll stop filming, so I will see you shortly. And anyway, speaking of the 529, there it is. Okay then guys, here we are. We are now gone past junction 10A, which is for we've just gone past junction 10A. That is where we met up with the M54, the Shropshire motorway. And just coming up now is the Moto Hilton Park services. Now Moto offers establishments such as Burger King, Greggs, Costa Coffee, M&S, and also a WH Smith's as well. And there's the bridge link to gain access with the two services on the northbound and the southbound. And these have, like, one of them has the very older Otis lifts. And coming up next is junction 11 for Featherstone, Brinsford, Cannock, Cheslin High. and also that is where majority of people would go for the MacArthur Glen designer outlet, and this is also for the M6 toll road, also the A460, and it's also famous for Harley Bush Garden Centres. We bring the garden straight to you. Hollybush, the naming garden centres and aquaria in the Black Country, Worston Road, Shares Hill, just off M6 Junction 11, which is right here, at Junction T8 of the M6 toll. And it also has a restaurant and also a miniature railway. So Junction 12 will be coming up next, so we won't see that, but I will see you at J13 at Penkridge. See you at Penkridge. Okay then, coming up now is J13, and this one is for Stafford, South and Central, and also for the local tourist attraction Shugborough, and as well as Shugborough, it's also for Penkridge, for the famous Penkridge markets, and this is where the 876 service and 875 goes by. So Stafford South and Central, and also for the distribution centre. And the motorway is beginning to wind along now, so it's going to do a windy turn. So, and this is also for the A449. So, but we're continuing in the northwest towards Stoke-on-Trent and Stafford North. So, heading for Stafford North. Well, obviously, just continuing for the northern part of Stafford, I meant. Because obviously we've got to find directional signs, and I'm going to let you know where we'll be heading for. And up here you'll meet up with the Harther pylons over at Doxy Way, because there'll be Harther pylons further up here. So distribution centre for Argos. So you've got Argos distribution. So just by the Argos, and over there is the West Coast Main Line from London Euston to Glasgow Central, and it's 59 miles to Manchester. Yes, that's where we're heading for, Manchester. So you got the West Coast Main Line that goes from London Euston to Glasgow Central via Birmingham New Street and Wolverhampton, and then joins up with the Trent Valley Line from over at Stafford. Because that is because what they do, they divide at Rugby. One line goes via the Trent Valley while the other goes via the Midlands. There's a John Lewis and Partners lorry there, must be delivering some items. So around here we're by Mospit and Highfields. So Mospit and Highfields, and the motorway is beginning to wind, so we'll be coming towards the Harther pylon shortly. Council block of flats over there. Wonder when that will be demolished. I don't know. And so the Harther pylons are just round this corner, so you'll see the cables, and we'll be crossing the number 5 service that goes from Telford to Stafford, run by Arriva, and of course the select bus services 877 to Wheaton Aston. So here we go. Pylons are now up ahead, because I saw one of the steel structures, so you can see the cables. And we'll be also crossing the West Coast Main Line shortly. So we're on our way to Manchester. And so anyway, there's the pylon. Just changing lanes here. For Eccleshall, leave at J14. Obviously we'll be finishing at J14, so obviously coming up after that is Stafford Services, and obviously Stafford Services is run by 2 separate companies. So The northbound services is run by Moto with the facilities you'd find up back at Hilton Park, and the southbound services is run by Roadshift, which offers a McDonald's, a Costa Coffee and a WH Smith's. Majority of the services are run with a WH Smith's, except Telford has become more of an independent, known as the Shop. So there's a Home Bargains lorry, Eddie Stobart's, quite a lot of HGVs all around here. So there's the wind turbines. The wind is not pushing them around compared to the ones back down further away. So those ones are all turned off. So they're all turned off because the wind has dropped. So around here we're just about to wind towards the West Coast Main Line. So train operating companies on this line includes the likes of Avanti West Coast, London North Western Railway and Arriva Cross Country. No trains to be seen. So this is J14, Stafford North, Stone and the A34. So I'll see you at J15. Okay then, this is J15 coming up. This one's Bolton Towers and all the surrounding attractions, even for Waterworld. And this is also for the A500 and also for Newcastle under Lyme. So we're going in the northwest direction, Liverpool and Manchester. So we're on our way to Manchester, but can you guess where we're going to in Manchester? Well, I know, it's my #1 favourite in Manchester. So sign in for Wedgwood, the British Garden World. And obviously the weather's been kind so far, even though we might have a few showers of rain. Obviously we've got to keep our areas fresh, because we've got to give this, because obviously we can't leave, because sun doesn't last forever. So what you got to do is make the most of the sun. So it's nice to see that the sun's out, everyone's out having fun. So coming up now, so we're just winding along, so we're coming up towards Kiel services now. So we're coming to Kiel. Obviously we might miss out Sandbach services, which is Roadshift, but I will announce when we get closer towards Knutsford way. So anyway, here's directional signage. So 43 miles to Manchester and 55 miles to Liverpool. So anyway, here are the pylons here. So we've got 2 wind turbines going round. So it's a beautiful day today, even up in the northwest. So sign here for Trentham Gardens. So there's a Johnson's coach en route. The big yellow car show. Kiel services. This one's got a KFC, a Waitrose and Partners, Burger King and a WH Smith's, and this one is run by Welcome Break. This one's a Welcome Break. This service is all 2 ADL Enviro 400s heading out. Wonder where they're off to. They're run by Selwyn's Enviro 400 MMCs. They are MMCs. So here's the services. This one is Kiel services. We've got Starbucks, KFC, WH Smith's, Krispy Kreme donuts, Taco Bell. Taco Bell, that's interesting. There's a Taco Bell at a service station. And yep, and the southbound services has an escalator to go up onto the bridge link to access the facilities on the bridge. So here we go. So the next services will be Sandbach. We'll probably miss out Sandbach, but we might resume at Knutsford. But obviously we are going somewhere very special in Manchester. So so it's now 40 miles away from Manchester and 52 miles from Liverpool. So we're now by Madeley Way now, Madeley. So half the pylons are starting to read parallel again, but then you'll see the mini half the pylons as we get close to Manchester. So you'll have the mini ones. So those are the normal ones down there. So here we go. This is my favourite part of the M6. This is my favourite part. Absolutely love this part of the M6. Oh gosh, I cannot wait. Anyway, oh, there's a sign here for advertising for Gulliver's. So you've got Gulliver's. So that one's one of the Gulliver's theme parks. There's one up in Warrington, and also there's one in Milton Keynes where I went to back in 2007 when I was a kid. Flixbus going past. Obviously Flixbus are one of the biggest coach operators. So anyway, so yeah, you got loads of different choice. So you got Gulliver's theme parks, Gulliver's Valley, Gulliver's Kingdom, Gulliver's World, and Gulliver's Land. I've done, yeah, so see you. So I'll see you. Anyway, guys, here we go. Now I can reveal where we're heading for. That's right, Manchester Airport. That's right, we're going to Manchester Airport. But obviously you may be thinking, are we flying today? The answer is no. We're not going to fly out of Manchester Airport, and we're not even going in the terminal building. So why would we be going to Manchester Airport if we're not going on a plane or going in the terminal building? Well, there is actually an enthusiasts location over at Manchester Airport, which is for plane spectators, especially myself. It's called the Runway Visitor Park, and the Runway Visitor Park attracts a lot of plane spotters. So anyway, here we are coming to junction 18 for the A54 Chester, Northwich and Middlewich. And so anyway, so Manchester Airport offers a runway visitor park, and obviously there are lots of heritage aircrafts at the site. Like there's the British European Airways plane, there's also the Concorde, and as well as the Concorde there's the Monarch DC-10. And for those people who remembered Monarch Airlines back in the day, good airline back then, had loads of planes. Sadly they went bust in 2017. So anyway, 17 miles to Warrington, 26 miles to Manchester, 36 miles to Liverpool and 45 miles to Preston. So anyway, we're going towards Manchester, so we're not going to be far away from Manchester. I cannot wait to get to that runway park in Manchester. It's one of the best places of all time. Been there loads of times, and as well as that there's even the aviation shop where they sell a lot of aircraft memorabilia. Because obviously back in my day I was a plane collector, but obviously times have really changed over the years. But obviously it's good to look back at your memories when you visited there. Now I remembered going to a similar type of shop over at Birmingham Airport, but sadly that closed in 2011 following the redevelopment of when they'd done the terminal building up in Birmingham. And now they're also doing it up again with the new security hall. So it has had a bit of transformations over the years, and this is its third transformation on the current building, because the current terminal building opened in 1984, replacing the old Elmdon terminal. Then in the 2000s it had a bit of a shake-up, and then when it came to the 2010s they had another shake-up with merging the two passenger terminal facilities into one, and now they're doing up the new security hall. Now obviously Manchester Airport currently operates 3 passenger terminals. So you've got Terminal 1, which is the original terminal, opened in 1962, and that was one of the oldest terminals at Manchester. It housed airlines such as Thomas Cook Airlines, Monarch, which eventually moved to Terminal 2, along with Travel City Direct. You also had Air Atlanta, and it is also the terminal for Emirates Airbus A380 flights bound for Dubai in the Middle East. But obviously Terminal 1 is set to close anytime soon, so it's going to be a sad time to say goodbye to Terminal 1. But I am going to miss Terminal 1. But obviously I will keep you up to date if there's any changes with the restructuring over at Manchester. So it's going to be fun. Going to get to the airport. So I'll be getting off shortly at the next upcoming junction, just after Knutsford Services, which is the moto. And so we'll probably miss out the A556, and I'll probably see you when we get onto the M56, and that is where we'll get a good view of the air traffic control tower. So obviously there's no like teasers in this one, but obviously there will be. But obviously I might do the same for whenever we do more trips, because obviously we usually go to Manchester Airport when we get on a flight over to Orlando in Florida. Oh, plane taking off in the background, so Manchester Airport is not far, so that one's just banking. Must be off somewhere, might be an Aer Lingus Orlando flight. I don't know, it might be a smaller plane, because obviously I can't tell from around here. So obviously we're here to watch the Virgin Atlantic flights depart. So Manchester have a lot of Virgin Atlantic flights. So you have Virgin Atlantic flights to New York's John F. Kennedy International Airport. You also got flights to Atlanta, and also flights to Las Vegas McCarran Airport. Also they have the seasonal, I think they still do the Barbados flights, I don't know, Grantley Adams, and also they do the #1 destination, Orlando. So we always go from Manchester when we go to Orlando. Obviously you can fly from Birmingham to Orlando. I know there was speculation that TUI was axing the Birmingham flights, but I might be wrong. I think they've updated, but I'll keep you up to date if there's any changes. And obviously if you fly with TUI, you don't go into the larger Orlando International Airport, you actually go into Melbourne, which is on the Space Coast of Florida, and that involves a 1-hour drive back into the centre of Orlando. Whereas if you go with Virgin, you're actually closer. Obviously we used to fly into Sanford when we flew with Thomas Cook, Travel City and Air Atlanta. Obviously TUI used to fly into Sanford since originating as Thomson's and First Choice. Also with Britannia and also Air 2000, but obviously now but there are other choices of airlines to fly with to Orlando. We've got Aer Lingus, but obviously they go into Terminal C in Orlando, whereas Virgin go into the original terminal, Terminal B. But we love Terminal B because this. Hello, this is Orlando Mayor Buddy Dyer. If you're a resident, welcome home. If you are one of our 70 million visitors, welcome to the City Beautiful. Here, imagination becomes reality in our theme parks and attractions. Authentic experience can be found in our art scenes, sporting events, and small business districts. Anything that makes Orlando unbelievably real. So anyway, here's Moto Knutsford Services. So we'll be going off just now. There's a Pret up there, Pret a Mange. I don't know how to say that again. Anyway, that was me just interpreting the voice of Orlando's Mayor Buddy Dyer. who's the voice of the gate link at MCO. Obviously, you don't get the gate link if you're going to Terminal C, but rumour has it you can... Oh, yeah, so just drop the camera. So this is the junction we're getting off now. Oh, yeah, so Buddy Dyer is the voice. Obviously, he is voiced in Terminal C as well over the PA system. So this is junction 19, the Tabley interchange. So obviously the aircrafts taking off in this are taking off over around Knutsford Way, and they're landing over Stockport, Cheadle, and Hill Green. So that's the wind, that because they're taking off and landing into the wind. So here we are, Tabley interchange. So what I'll do, I'll stop filming and I'll see you when we get onto the M56. Okay, we're now entering the M56, bound for Manchester Airport. Anyway, we're now going along, so we're now beginning to wind. Obviously, we won't see the mini Arthur pylons as much because obviously we'll be getting off prior to that. So anyway, here's another Flixbus, so that means we're now closer to the airport. And as you know, these pylons are so closer to the runway as well, so you'll be able to see all the planes. So we'll be seeing a lot of the larger planes here at Manchester. Obviously, Virgin Atlantic don't go from Birmingham, so this is why we always pay a visit to Manchester to see the Virgin Atlantic flights, because the alternative being London Heathrow. They used to go out of Gatwick, but obviously that stopped in 2020 when things went pear-shaped. But obviously with Virgin Atlantic going from Manchester and London Heathrow, I don't blame them for it. But even though it would have been great to see them at Birmingham, but obviously it's all down to it's all down to what happens. But obviously you do see them rarely going to Birmingham sometimes, like if I'm going for a service check or if there's a diversion. Sometimes I have to reroute the flights elsewhere. So anyway, 5 miles away to the airport, and it's 12 miles into the city centre of Manchester. So in a moment you'll be seeing the air traffic control tower, which is the one that was constructed in 2013 to replace the old 1962 control tower that has been in operation up until 2013. It was taken out of service. It had been in operation since 1962 and was taken out of operation in 2013, but obviously it did operate just to remove the equipment, but obviously the equipment is now removed and the tower just sits idle. It's no longer doing anything, so it just overlooks the airport. The radar scanner's turned off on the tower, so that means the only air traffic control tower that does have the radar scanner spinning is the one that we know today, and you'll be seeing it just now. So just going up, there it is. There's the air traffic control tower, so we're close to the airport now. So we're just closer to the terminal. So we're close to the airport now. And obviously, so anyway, here's the joking sign. Quarry Bank Mill! Oh my God! So we have to keep following the song. So you got Quarry Bank Mill, which we always laugh about when we come to Manchester, because you can't stop the banter without laughing over Quarry Bank Mill. So anyway, here we go. We'll be getting off just now. This one is for the A538 Hale, Wilmslow, Macclesfield, and the A537. So yeah, this one. So junction number 6. This one is for the. So this is the one for the Runway Visitor Park. So anyway, so here's the River Bowling. So MCR Manchester M56 A538 Hale, Wilmslow, Macclesfield, and so here we go. I'm just about to exit. So there's the up-to-date news signage. Oh, and of course there are mini Harther pylons around here. Yes, I forgot to say. So here we are, just about to exit here. So it's this one right here. So you can see the floodlights, just like when you think you're at Merry Hill, but obviously we're in Manchester, so A538. So we're going to be seeing a lot of planes here in Manchester. Well, here in Manchester, so we'll be seeing a lot of planes. So we're going to take. So here's the sign. This is the end of the motorway. So just keep going round, and then you go straight ahead. So that goes into Hale and Altrincham. Now, Altrincham did have a House of Fraser at one time, but obviously under Rackham's, but sadly that, and that one had to close following the restructuring of the business. So we're now in the Trafford County now. So this is the Trafford County. So going straight ahead, Style Country Park, Horrybank Mill, and also to the Runway Visitor Park. So here we are. So we're gonna, keep left. Yeah. Oh, no, I think it's this one. Sorry. Yeah.
Turn up there.
Yeah. Sorry about this confusion, guys. Confused because if we were going that way, we would have ended up on the terminal complex. Oh my god. Anyway, just keep going straight. Another set of traffic lights, so these will take us to the airport. This is going to take us towards the airport, the airfield. So anyway, here are the storage places. So we're gonna do a left turn for the Runway Park. So you got the staff car park here. This is for staff who work at the airport, especially for all the airline crew. This is where all the airline crew have their base. Oh, there's the air traffic control tower spinning around. Yep. So down there, so that's an Enviro 200 MMC coming on the staff parking. There's the building. Go for Terminal 2. One of my favourite terminals. So then we've got to do a right turn towards the Runway Park. So I just spotted the tower. So here we are, coming down. So here are the base. These are the maintenance hangars here. So you've got Jet2.com. They've got a hangar here at Manchester. You did have Thomas Cook, but obviously they went bust in 2019. That was a sad time when they went bust. Oh, there's an Aer Lingus plane just sticking out, a tail fin, sorry. So, no parking beyond this point, because obviously this is restricted. So we're now... So here we are. Welcome to the Runway Visitor Park here at Manchester Airport. So we've got the private terminal down there. There's the Monarch DC-10. And there's a bus stop right here as well. But obviously it's not in use, unfortunately. So here we are. Welcome to the Runway Visitor Park. So then, here we are at Manchester Airport. Well, not physically Manchester Airport itself, but here we are at the Runway Visitor Park here at the airport. So as you bring me round, lovely sunny day, got my sunshades on, shorts, no jumpers required. You can hear the sound of an EasyJet plane in the background. Obviously, EasyJet offer flights across Europe, and everyone probably remembers the famous icon on that much-loved TV programme airline, Jane Bolton. If anyone remembers that, and also EasyJet's funny madness. Did I have the right to you to pay for it? Did I? Funny moments. I remember watching that programme. Oh, Emirates is just pushing back now. That's about to taxi out for a flight over to Dubai. That's going to be good, seeing an Emirates flight on departure. We've never seen the Emirates flights take off, but it's really good to see. So that's the Super Jumbo ready to go. So anyway, here we are over on the airfield. So this is the airfield where all the planes will taxi and take off and also land. So just pop the phone, mustn't drop it through there because it will be so difficult, and then you'll have to rely on team members here, but there's obviously loads of security staff that will probably get people in high vis to go around and collect it. So there's a plane just landing. The time is now 9:56. The Orlando flight, which is VS74 from Orlando, that's due in at 10:30. Obviously when we were here the last time we were here, when we were coming back from Florida last year from Orlando. Oh, aircraft's just about to land. So I'm also going to try and take you in a tour of some of the planes here that they've got here at the site. Obviously the Concorde you have to pay extra. Oh. So anyway, here we are. Here we are. Anyway, there's an EasyJet plane on its departure. That's on runway 2, whereas EasyJet just landing here. That's on runway 1 here at Manchester, which is the main runway, the original runway. So just like pushed it forward so I could get some good shots of the aircraft taking off. Emirates is just having to wait until EasyJet clears its runway. Anyway, that one is it's OE IJA. Yeah, quite a lot of EasyJets coming in. There's another one landing just now. Can't believe EasyJet has got a lot of flights coming in and out of Manchester, because obviously they've got a lot of profile flights from this airport. EasyJet do. Yeah, another one's coming in. This is a bit like the number 6 in Stourbridge a bit, or the number 9s, and a bit like the number 4s. There's far too many EasyJet planes coming in and out. Anyway, here comes another one. Obviously, you don't know where. Oh, Emirates is just about to taxi. That's just about to make its way to runway. So it's going to go runway 2 here at Manchester. EasyJet operate out of T1 in Manchester. They operate from T1. So Emirates is just about to taxi to the runway, the Airbus A380, bound for Dubai. Emirates has a set gate here at Manchester. He uses gate 12 because obviously, because of the gates being built specifically for the A380 aircraft. Emirates also operate a single-decker aircraft, which is the 777, but obviously the 777 only rarely comes here if there's problems with the A380, but obviously the A380 is one of the best planes. Like most of all, I love the A380s. They're one of my favourite planes of all time, so just about to make its way to the runway. That's better. Anyway, there's the Emirates. So there he goes, on to runway 2. That's an alternative runway here at Manchester. So that's going to take off around Knutsford. And arriving aircraft's just arriving onto runway 1 because I think what they've done now, they've actually altered the runway system here in Manchester. Definitely love here at Manchester. It's really good weather for aircrafts like these to come to Manchester. There's a Qatar Airways flight on departure towards Doha, and that's a 787, a Dreamliner aircraft. There's the sound of the A380. Oh, Ryanair flight is just about to land. So sorry if we can't get much shot because obviously with the fence. Ryanair's just landing. Watch this take off. Right, it's just hit behind the pylons. And reach for the sky. Well, obviously you'd only say that if you're with Virgin. So here's a Ryanair plane here. That one is G-RUKG. So we're going to watch the Qatar plane depart shortly. So Qatar Airways is having to wait on a holding stack at the moment because obviously we've got to wait on a holding stack because obviously oh, there's Qatar, or is it Qatar? But obviously they pronounce it as Qatar. Obviously Qatar also go for this might be a bigger plane coming in, or it might be just maybe another EasyJet. Might be another EasyJet coming in. Can't believe there's far too many EasyJets that come here into Manchester. Oh, oi. What's this? No, this ain't easy. This is TAP Portugal. This is TAP Airlines. This is Portugal. Ah, that's a Portugal flight, so that's Portuguese flight, so that's TAP Portugal, just arriving from Faro, I think, or whichever airport they're using in Portugal, or wherever they fly to from Manchester. There it is. So obviously with the lighter aircraft here at Manchester, obviously they just take off quickly, whereas a heavier aircraft takes off longer. It depends on their destination it's flying to. Dreamliners are like less compared to louder planes. Like there's still a lot of louder planes. There's that. well. Anyway, Qatar just ready. This one coming in now is, I think this one's a KLM plane coming in, this one is. This one's a KLM. Oh yeah, because it would be KLM because of the blue. And KLM is part of like Air France, Delta and Virgin. So Qatar is just on the runway now. Here comes KLM. Yeah, obviously they did upgrade from T2, then they moved to T3 to join Air France, because Air France operated from T2 then T3, and now it's gone back to Terminal 2 because they're actually upgrading the terminal here at Manchester T2. Yeah, obviously if you hadn't seen my Florida videos, you should check out. Oh, there's the sound of the Qatar plane that's going out towards Doha. So there's KLM. Obviously, if you remember, the World Cup took place in Qatar anyway. Quite a few plane spotters here today, here at Manchester. Nose is rising on the KLM, not the KLM, on the Qatar plane, so KLM is having to take a longer distance exit for the runway. Just going to snap this one coming in. This one's got a newer type on there, a bit like the small and mini versions of the A350s. Obviously, because you can tell with the there's KLM. You can get the whole. There's KLM. Anyway, not only this place offers entertainment to watch planes, there's also kids rides for the kids to have fun, and also they've also got historic planes on display here at Manchester. If I could just cross over. So we've got a little train ride here, the little train, and obviously here is one of the historic planes, but I thought I would have been able to access, but obviously no, apparently it's cordoned off, unfortunately, so I wouldn't be able to get in. But this is what it looks like. So that's the plane. This is an Avro RJX, GI RJX. There's the little train ride here. So obviously this is all shut off. Oh, it's open. Let me have. I thought it was cordoned off. Anyway, let me get on board. Boarding the plane. So I get on a flight again back to Florida. But obviously only on a smaller flight. So here we are. This is getting into the plane itself. Right, this is what the plane looks like on the inside. That's the cockpit. Take a picture of the cockpit. Restoration, welcome aboard. The last airliner built in the UK. It's been volunteers, so this is like a voluntary place. Here's a bit of a display plane here. Quite old aircraft equipment in here. This is a good plane. So that's the cabin. Sadly we can't go in there, but this is really, really good. Oh, that's the sound of the plane. So here I am. It's like I've got my own aircraft here. Anyway, here comes another aircraft under the Star Alliance, and this one is Lufthansa. And Lufthansa is Atlantic, operating the VSO 85 Beauty Queen from Manchester Airport to Las Vegas McCarran International Airport. So that's the A330, bound for Las Vegas, because Virgin do operate the Las Vegas flights, and also they do have the Atlanta flights, so they've got quite a few slots here at Manchester. You can hear the sound of the A330. This is one of the older batch. Beauty Queen was one of the first of the A330s to join the fleet, I believe, back in 2011, because they've been in service since 2011, and we started flying on the A330 with Virgin back in 2011. And obviously Virgin only operate the 2-engine aircraft now, because they don't have the 4 engines anymore, because obviously that's all now a thing of the past, unfortunately. Let me just put my battery pack on. Just put it on. There goes Beauty Queen. We're getting ready to hear the front of her in a moment. Just drop the camera, just change hands. Just gonna make her way to the runway. Obviously, as you know, Virgin do operate A330s regularly here at Manchester, because it's always A330s. Traditionally it was the 747s, but obviously the 747s have since gone. There we go. Obviously Virgin did originally operate the Vegas flight, then they scrapped it, and obviously since Thomas Cook had stopped, Virgin have since returned to operate the flight. Right, sound of a Singapore aircraft. Airbus A350. That's the Concorde hangar there. That's where they house the Concorde, the historical line. 37. Look at that one face. Because obviously British Airways' main base is at London Heathrow Terminal 5. There she goes. two traffic control towers. There's the old one down there. And just about to the right is, of course, the best plane of all time. That's right, the Airbus A350, operated by Virgin Atlantic. So I'm just people. Landing. Orlando. I think it might be doing an aborted mission. So that one's a VS74 from Orlando. Oh, it's coming in. Looks like it's landing. Yep. So that's the Virgin one from Florida. Yep, that's the A350. It's landing on schedule in Manchester. That was the one we had from Florida. Here it is. That's all. That's my girl. Here it is. That one is. Here she is. Welcome to Manchester International Airport, where the local time here is coming to 10:10 in the morning. So here it is, just arriving here at Manchester, the A350. Yeah, that's one of the. That was the one, the first of the new ones, and then the A330 is upgraded to the Neos. But the Neos are currently at Heathrow, but eventually they might come here. Yeah. VS74 that one is. No, it was 11 o'clock our flight. It was due in last time. For those people who've not seen my Orlando flights video. Welcome to Manchester International Airport, and the local time here is 6:40. So anyway, here it comes. So we're going to get a good view of it. The name of the plane is this one. So we should be getting a New York flight coming in. Yep, here we go. That's the Virgin flight from Orlando. That one is named Soul Rebel. This one's Soul Rebel, this one. There it is. So that one is to the passengers and the captain. Hopefully if Captain Rob Clifford is doing the flying. Could see passengers are tempted to close their window blinds unless they, well, I think they're probably doing that to keep the cabin cool while on the ground since it's been a hot week. Waving to all the captains and the crew. That is the longest aircraft, that one is. GVBOD. stretched A350. So that one's going over onto the B gates here at Manchester. Yeah, nice one. Okay then guys, after a lovely time at the Runway Visitor Park, we're now heading for Staley Bridge right now. So we're now heading for Staley Bridge. So anyway, so Junction 5 coming up. This is for the main airport for anyone who's flying out of Manchester. So that goes on to the airport spur. There's the mini half a pylons there. So anyway, let's enjoy our time as we go along. Okay then, we just did a bit of a round trip up to Staley Bridge, and now we're on our way back towards Joe's Bus Train Plane Lift Adventures HQ. And it was a lovely day out at Manchester Airport. Obviously didn't do much footage going towards Staley Bridge, but obviously I took a couple of pictures of very interesting things. And yeah, it's been a fantastic journey. So obviously the mini half pylon, so you'll see one set up there in a moment. There's one there beyond that tree. So yeah, it's been a fantastic time over at Manchester Airport. Watching the planes, so spotting 2 Airbus A350s, one going to Orlando and one coming from Orlando. And then we saw the Beauty Queen, the Airbus A330, going en route to Las Vegas, McCarran Airport. And yeah, it's been a fantastic time. So obviously we will make our regular visits to Manchester again. And you never know, we might be here again. But I know we'll be here for Orlando, but who knows when that will happen. But as always, I will throw the teasers in again. So it's going to be very, very exciting. So what I'll do, so on behalf of everyone here at Joe's Bus Train Plane Lift Adventures, thank you very much for watching, and for myself being the CEO of this YouTube channel. Without this YouTube channel, our videos wouldn't be so successful, and I wouldn't have met all my favourite people of all time, and I wouldn't have even had the enthusiasm in with the planes. Well, obviously I had the interest in those, and I thought, why not, if I create a YouTube channel, merge the interests into it. Please to make
keep left and follow the M56,
so I can show my viewers my interest, like how I did with the lifts as well. So anyway, that's it. Anyway, as you know, we stopped for a Mackey's earlier at Stafford Services, fillet of fish burger. So anyway, we're now on our way back to Joe's Bus Train Plane Lift Adventures HQ. And yep, so it's been a fantastic time. So we're back on the M6, going back southbound now. And this is going to take us back towards Stafford, because you'll see Stafford Castle in a moment, because obviously there's a castle on this line. So it's really nice to see a bit of points of interest, and hopefully we might see the West Coast Main Line trains. Well, we did see one over in Stockport. I've never been to Stockport before, no, but I flew over Stockport when I came back from Florida. Who knows when we'll be going to Florida again? I don't know, because obviously I can't guarantee those trips in advance. I just do it at last minute calls. So I don't say to anyone, oh, I'm going to Florida, when obviously I'm not like a set service business. I just plan stuff at last minute, and then I'll share it to all you viewers. So anyway, so here we go. We're now just heading away from Stafford Services. So anyway, I got DPD, a delivery company lorry. As you know, DPD is a national company, so they're all over. So they're all over the UK. They're like a parcel delivery company. So the South, Birmingham and Stafford South, but obviously we're coming to Stafford North first. Anyway, there's the Pie Green Hills. There's the Pie Green, and there's Parkside over there on the number 8, that's run by Selectable Services. So this is Stafford North, Junction 14, and this is also where we go when we went to Alton Towers, and go along through Stone, and sometimes we went by Roaster, which is where the headquarters is for the JCB company. And this is where the A34 comes and goes from. So the South, Birmingham, Stafford South, M6. There's Stafford Castle in the background. Obviously Stafford Castle, you wouldn't think it's like an actual castle to look around. It's actually an original castle that was ruined years ago. So you've got loads of castles all over the UK. Oh, wind turbine still turned off. Probably because the wind isn't blowing as much around Stafford. I do like Stafford, yeah. Stafford's a nice place. Anyway, there's the West Coast main line. That's the track to the West Coast. Oh, Stafford Castle is somewhere around there. So that is for. So South Stafford, so 18 miles to Wolverhampton, and further on to Birmingham. So anyway, once again, guys, thank you very much for coming along with me to Manchester. We've done some very good blogs this week. We've done a trip up into Alrewas. We've done a trip to Alrewas around the National Memorial Arboretum, and that was a good fun day out. We went there. So we went to the National Memorial Arboretum at Alrewas. Tuesday we went to Bridgnorth. So once again, Monday to the National Memorial Arboretum. That was Monday. Tuesday went to Bridgnorth, and Wednesday didn't do, but yesterday we were in Telford doing all the Telford stuff, and finally today we went over into Manchester. So I just got a frog in my throat, and anyway.
Right, well, let's start slightly further afield. We've got queues on the M40.
So anyway, that's it, guys. See you all soon.